Most of us, at some point, have wished for a shortcut, a way to bypass the decades of grinding labor and instantly acquire absolute wealth, a corner office, or the sudden downfall of a rival. According to practitioners like Agori Akilji, who deal directly with the supernatural, those shortcuts actually exist. High-level occult pacts and dark tantric rituals don't fail. If you ask the right entities for $1 million by morning, they will deliver it. But this diagram illustrates how the supernatural economy actually works. It operates as a rigid cosmic ledger. Every single desire granted by these forces requires them to extract a payment of equal and often devastating weight. Engaging with dark magic is never a gamble where you might walk away clean. It is an unbreakable contract. You get exactly what you ask for, and the horrific costs are always buried in the fine print. Take the case of a man living in Africa, a close contact of Akilji. He was starting with absolutely nothing, struggling for years to build a business in a harsh, unforgiving economic environment. Desperate, he sought out a high-level Illuminati pact. The terms were clear. The entity would grant him unimaginable, limitless wealth, allowing him to build a massive empire. In exchange, the entity demanded the complete, immediate termination of his bloodline. He agreed, and the contract executed flawlessly. Almost immediately after the pact was sealed, his healthy 6-year-old child died. And the price extends beyond the physical world. By accepting the wealth, this man surrendered his soul to the entity. When he eventually dies, he is permanently denied the cycle of reincarnation. His spiritual existence is trapped forever. He secured every material possession he ever wanted. By doing so, he guaranteed the absolute destruction of his family legacy and his own spiritual future. You don't have to join a global secret society to trigger this ledger. It happens constantly in mundane corporate offices. Consider a worker who felt his boss was ignoring his efforts and refusing him a promotion. Instead of improving his skills, the worker hired a tantric practitioner to cast Vashikaran, a form of supernatural mind control, on his boss. The goal was to magically force the boss to hand over the unearned position. The magic worked. The boss blindly promoted him. But because the worker entirely lacked the competence for the new role, he made critical errors. The company suffered massive financial losses, entirely tanking the department. Forcing an unnatural advantage always triggers a severe karmic correction. The worker got the title, but the resulting chaos ruined the exact prize he cheated to win. The most terrifying part of this economy is that you don't even have to sign a contract to become a victim. Innocent people are regularly forced into spiritual debt out of pure petty spite. In one case, a young woman was targeted by a jealous rival. The rival hired a tantric to secretly charge a bottle of perfume with an occult curse and gifted it to her. The trap had specific parameters. The magic only activated when the young woman, wearing the tainted scent, stopped at a geographic threshold, a local crossroad, at exactly midnight. The moment she crossed it, 2 malicious entities attached themselves to her. Within days, her weight plummeted to barely 40 kilos. She suffered rapid physical emaciation and intense psychological torment every night. This is where the brokers of the supernatural economy step in. Agoris, the ascetic masters of the occult, are often the only ones capable of intervening, managing, and eventually releasing these dark forces. This is a kapal. It is the skull of a deceased guru. Agoris use this precise physical vessel as a strict containment unit. It holds their power and traps the restless entities they extract from victims. But the Agori takes on a massive risk by holding them. To achieve moksha, or spiritual liberation, an Agori must safely pass this loaded vessel to a worthy disciple right before death. If they fail, their own soul becomes trapped alongside the entities. The entities themselves cannot be randomly discarded. The Agori must travel to highly charged geographic locations, like the sacred waters of Haridwar, Pushkar, or the 64 Yogini Temple in Marina, to safely release them. These specific coordinates act as spiritual processing centers. If the entities are not deposited at these exact locations at the correct time, they will remain trapped forever. No one gets a free pass. From the innocent victim to the master Agori containing the curse, everyone is bound by the rigid accounting rules of the spiritual world. There are specific times in the calendar when the veil between worlds is thinnest. During Amavasya, the dark phase of the new moon, as well as major festivals like Diwali and Holi, the occult economy is operating at peak volume. Because the deities are said to be resting, malicious magic works with zero friction. Practitioners use shockingly mundane methods to pass curses along. They hand out tainted sweets at parties or leave cursed items like coins and perfumes in the middle of intersections for people to step over. Your primary defense against these invisible attacks is your aura. A naturally strong, glowing energy field effortlessly deflects external malice. But the moment you succumb to deep fear, jealousy, or spiritual weakness, that shield shatters, giving dark magic a direct point of entry. If your environment feels compromised, occult masters recommend a very practical physical cleanse. Burning Google dupe, yellow mustard, and pure cow ghee creates a dense smoke that aggressively clears out negative energetic attachments from your home. The occult world will always deliver on its promises. The wealth, the promotions, and the revenge are absolutely real, but the hidden cost will always bankrupt